All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. I hope everybody's had a healthy and restful weekend. Let me get this tweeted out for everybody here so everybody can join in. 1 second. Everybody's had a healthy and restful weekend. Let me get this tweeted out for everybody here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, 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 good. Well, I hope everybody's doing great and had a wonderful weekend. And this week we are starting a new topic on day trading. Where this week's topic is going to be chop slop. And today we're going to be talking about corrective waves. Before we get started today, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. All right. Well, before we get started today, we're going to go over, give an update on the market, check the futures, and then we'll get to the topic and then answer questions and chart requests. So let's take a look and see where we left off on Friday. So here's the monthly chart on the SPX, the S&P Cash, and so far, well, rough going here, right here. So here's your 50 monthly moving average here. Below here, we're in the bear market zone, right? I tweeted out something pretty cool this weekend. I actually got a lot of response on this one, just about kind of hope. Right, so I drew this pink trend line, this purple trend line right here from the lows of 2009, and just tagging this line right here, and just kind of carrying it up right here. So here's a macro trend line that we've been holding on the monthly chart. So there is hope here, right? And futures are a little bit green here this evening, or decently green this evening. So we'll see if that gets any fall through the upside on this one. So, or if the shenanigans continue and we stay in this bear market territory, which is possible as long as the corona is weighing heavily on the market. We did an in-depth analysis in the newsletter this weekend, so thank you everybody for checking that one out for current members. Appreciate that. So, monthly chart right now is hanging out on the cloud, so that's good. We're at the lower Bollinger Band. Of course, it's starting to expand a little bit, which may imply more volatility if you guys can believe it. So we'll see how that goes. Weekly chart. So weekly chart pretty interesting right here. So we had the let me clean this up a little bit here for you. Okay, so weekly chart, right? We had this bullish engulfing week the week prior, and we just couldn't get any follow through the upside. It ticked above it, and that was about it. And it came back down and gave us a red spinning top here on the weekly chart. We had this Harami cross right here off of that first big week down, which brought us down below the 30 weekly moving average. Again, more change of composure type stuff. And so here we are resting below that right now, and this thing is starting to turn down. So still in the bearish, still proven otherwise territory. So big move right here, right on the SPX daily, right? We can see that we were, below the macro trend line right here. We got a breakout here on Monday, which is nice, but we did not get any confirmation. Remember last week we talked about confirmation. We could not confirm above these levels, and so therefore we are below here right now. Let's take a look at the price action on Friday. So pretty bearish price action here on the SPX. Check this out here, guys. Double inside 15, which brought us down to the 15 orb level. Another inside 15, another one to bring us down and down and down. So a little bit of a rough day there on Friday, right? And then they did a little end of the day shenanigans, end of the week shenanigans right there, gave us a little push at the close, but still down day. And as it so turns out that we looks like we might be gapping up tomorrow, although we do have a long night ahead of us here. So let's take a look at the price action that we had here on Friday. So let's get this pulled up here. So April 3rd. Okay, so these are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open. You can see here a couple key levels right here, right? We gap down, we filled we started getting to the gap, we couldn't get above it. Look at all these upper shadows up here at these levels, just implying that this thing wants to test lower. Inside 5 at this point here off of that double inside 15, right, which worked us down to the next level, another upper shadow off the daily pivot level, and then back down. Upper shadow here trying to work its way back up, right? Got down below the prior day's open, right? And just kind of chopped around there and then had that rip into the close, right? And then that's where we left off. So let's take a look at the S&P futures and see where we're at this evening. So up about 65 points, 64 and 3/4 right now. So big move up this evening. I love this double inside 5 here tonight that gave it that final push to the upside. Let's get a trend line on here this evening. See where you're at here. So right here, so we're basically tagging this trend line right now. So let's see if it gets below it and gives a push down. Otherwise, if it continues to hold it, we may continue to drift up throughout the evening. So good stuff there. All right, well, let's take a look at this week's topic. So this week's topic is we're going to be talking about chop slop this week and day trade chop slop this week. So I got a big sloppy Joe right there on that one. So today we're going to be talking about corrective waves. So what are we talking about here with chop slop? So basically, it's those periods in the market where we're really not trending and we're starting to get real choppy in there, and it's tough, right? And it's tough to get big moves one direction or the other. It makes it even harder with the high volatility because we are expecting a big move, right? Because we've been seeing 100, 150 point days, and then we stop getting those. So like, what do we do here? So how do we know when is this done? So here's a couple things that this week we're going to be talking about different ways to identify when we're in the chop slop and possibly when to avoid moves, especially on the market, right, intraday. So today we're just going to be talking about corrective waves, right? So we've talked about Elliott wave before. We've talked about corrective wave patterns in the past. What we know is, right, or at least the Elliott wave theory is that when we have a wave pattern, right, waves go, or the price goes in 5 waves, right? It goes wave 1, which is an impulsive wave, wave 2, which is a corrective wave 3, right, another impulsive wave 4, corrective wave, and then wave 5, another impulsive wave, right? So that's what we see in markets. Right? You can kind of see it right here already, right? Wave 1, wave 2, right? Wave 3, wave chop slop right here, 4, wave 5, and it's done. And now we're like kind of in this other pattern right here, trying to figure out what's going on, right? So that's the real thing, is when do we know when we're in these corrective patterns? It just helps to kind of zoom out and take a look at what the wave is looking like right here. So if we've just finished with a big move, right? Oh, let me put that back up there if I can. Oh. If we just finished with a big move, there's a good chance that we are getting ready to correct after that. So that's kind of the big thing. It gets you. It's kind of, I like to call it like the big impulsive hangover, right? Something like that. So if we go back to the SPX here and just kind of take a look at what's happening on the daily chart. So this is kind of an example of a potential wave pattern that we're seeing here. So if we go back here, if we go to let's get this cleaned up right here. Make sure I've got this all good so you guys can see my charts. Okay, good. So this is what we've seen, right? So we have here, we've got a wave 1 down, what looks like a wave 1 down, right? And then we had the corrective pattern. So that's a big move right there. When we start to reverse off of it, we start to pivot off of here, we need to expect at least some choppy action, right? So we got this move right here as a Morningstar reversal. It happened to be a Morningstar reversal at the time, right? Now, do we always move in a straight V pattern? Not usually, right? So after a big impulsive wave, you would expect us to enter a wave 2 pattern right here. So wave 2 patterns, all corrective waves, going ABC, so ABC of some sort. Right now, they can be impulsive in there, but after a big move down, we need to expect, right, some chop. A lot of times we see, with these, right, if you go to the weekly chart, and we'll talk about it more this week, we see an inside candle right here. We had a big move down, and then we went an inside candle. Now, of course, this is a big range, 235-point range, but this is the chop zone, right? And you can see that right here on the daily chart, right? This is the chop zone right here. That was that inside week. And so, this is where we expect, some kind of crazy price action, right? So in determining when these are over, right, we kind of have to wait for an impulsive move and a pivot to end, right? And so here, when we worked out of this Morningstar reversal, we got this inside day, and then kind of worked our way down, and then we started to confirm down, right? And then now we got this, now we're kind of know this wave is over, and we're starting to confirm down, right? And that is what happens, right? So we have another impulsive move down. So, which was the one that was the end of it? Well, we had another Morningstar reversal right here, right? So we had that bearish candle right here, reversal candle, and then this candle, bullish candle that closed over 50% of the range of the first candle, Morningstar reversal, right? So at this point, right, we can expect that movement to the upside, but we had a macro trend line down here, right? And that got us right to it, like we just said earlier, right? We couldn't break above that here on the daily chart. We couldn't break above those levels. So we are back in the chop zone. Okay, until we get more confirmation one way or the other. And so right now, that's why we're starting to see this pricey action. So it gets a little bit tougher. And then within this action, right, we have, those subwaves, right, that we looked at earlier. If we go to the shorter term time frames, right, we can see here that we get, some choppiness, right? So here we start to work our way up, right? But it's kind of just like this not impulsive waves, right? We get these kind of choppy type moves. And so by looking at the macro picture here, that if we know we're in a corrective wave pattern, right, we can expect this chop, right? So here's your, this could be like wave A, B, we might see like, who knows, we might rally up here, C, this could be your wave 4, which can't exceed this level right here, right? And then we could possibly be working on a wave 5 down after that, depending on where this thing ends. So it's tough. It's tough to play the guessing game in here, right? It just always is. So we just need to be cautious with that. So even in here off this Morningstar reversal, we had a big range candle right here. Well, why didn't it get followed through the upside? Well, because it's in the corrective pattern, right? And then the next day, it helps you to look at. We're going to talk about this more this week. But you had an inside day right here, right? And once you're inside this range, right, you can expect some chop, right? And that is exactly what we're getting these ranges right here. So right now we're in the chop slop. And so let's see if we can work our way out of this. We may be already working on a wave 5 down, but we need to confirm lower, right, to show that this thing is intending to get lower here, and we may see a push below the recent lows if that is the case. So otherwise, we'll just wait until we can confirm above these levels and assume that we're in the chop range right now until proven otherwise. So there you go. So that's it. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, Please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all have an awesome night's sleep and be rested up for a great trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. So good. So got a chart request through Twitter from Swag. So let's go to OMI. Let's go to the daily chart right here. Hope you had a good weekend and are doing well and healthy. Okay, so OMI. Owens and Minor Inc. So pretty interesting stuff right here, right? So we got a big move up. Oh, we got the channel thing on here. 1 second. Got the channel. All right, there we go. So from these recent lows, right? So we're basically, kind of in this upward trend. Oh, I like how it tagged that one right here too. So we're basically in this upward trend line now. We may be coming back, right, and working our way back down. So you can see here we had an impulsive wave up, right? We started to curl back down, and look what happened. We're in the chop zone, right? Chop slop in there. Okay, we got back to the trend line right there. Wave 3, right there. Okay. And, well, this isn't really wave 4 because it's already crossed below wave 1, so it's probably a different wave count, but you still get the idea. After an impulsive wave up, we start to chop again. So now we're in kind of the, who knows, maybe it's done, maybe it's coming back here. We could possibly be in the chop zone again. So see what it does, see if it comes back, see if it moves sideways to the trend line, see if you get some confirmation candle to work its way up, and then you may start to see more bullishness on this one. So good stuff there. Alex, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, everything's doing great. Hope you're well. Got your chart request here. So AMD, let's take a look. So AMD, getting pretty interesting here. I mean, it definitely started to weaken a little bit there on Friday, right? So it was, pushed its way down. This may actually be its wave 1 down potentially, but working its way up here. But kind of tricky right here. We're definitely in the chop zone right now for AMD. It's kind of holding some prior support levels right here. You got a lower shadow on Friday. So let's see what it can do here. Let's see if we can kind of close above these guys, with some bullishness and try to work its way up. But ultimately, it needs to get above here, which is your first breakout pivot down to the downward trend line. And then we'll see if we can close above that and work our way out of the cloud on AMD. MA. Again, a lot of sideways action here on Mastercard. It's, doji day here at the 8-day moving average, kind of in the chop zone as well, like everything else, right? If you get a trend line on this guy, right, we're right here. So here's the levels we need to clear above, right? Bullishly with some good volume to show that we're ready to get above, to reverse this trend. V, let's take a look at V, another credit card company here, Visa. Okay, so we've already drawn the trend lines on this one. Here's the levels, obviously, we need to clear above right here. So we're still in the chop zone right here. Hot dog pattern, so we'll see if that works its way down, reversal over reversal. Right, see if it comes back down and at least test that trend line on V. Nike, Schnikes. So let's see here. Again, we're in the chop zone here as well. Inside day on Friday, narrow range inside day, by the way. So 1.89 points that day. So basically just kind of this rough downside pattern right here. Again, need to close above 86.86 with some bullishness. Be careful here, right? Trend lines are, you got your 50 just death cross here over the 200. So we may be in some more bearishness here, and it looks like it closed below the 8-day moving average 2. So just be careful with that one. Again, if the market's super strong tomorrow for whatever crazy reason, then we may see it push to the upside, fill some gaps. But just be careful, we're still in the chop zone on this one as well. So good stuff. And then Shirley sent a few in here. We've got UAL. Shirley sent in a bunch of airlines here. And she's probably right. She's pretty bearish on these right now. So Warren Buffett, if you guys caught that on Friday, looks like he dumped like a big position in the airlines. What was it, Delta, something like that? But not so good. Right? They tried to rally a little bit here with the rest of the market and just couldn't do it. I know everybody thinks they're going to get bailed out. But yeah, these are definitely going to be on the bearish radar for tomorrow with the with Buffett kind of losing his stake in these ones too. So that should kind of at least be on the 15-orb radar for Monday. So let me actually get those on here real quick. Okay, and let's get these there. Good, there, good. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so what else? Penn. Yeah, Penn Game. This is one of our usual suspects here. The airlines, the cruise lines, and the casinos. These ones seem to get hit the most by the corona stuff. I mean, I guess there is some bullishness, right? There were, I don't know how bullish it is, but less deaths in New York. So that might get some, kind of some strength in the market. Hey, things are getting better over there and all that stuff. So let's see if that gets going on that. But in the meantime, we are still below the trend line right here. This is a nasty candle the other day. 2 nasty candles right here back to back under the ADMA. So kind of a pause candle right here at the trend line. So if it wants to get strong, you have to get over here, confirm above it. If not, we may see some more downside there on Penn National Gaming. SCO. Oil ETF. Oh boy, yeah. So watch this one too. This could be interesting, right? Oil got a. This is the ultra short on oil, so this one actually might get a bullish perkiness because they were supposed to meet. Right, OPEC one, OPEC plus is supposed to meet, remotely on Monday, but apparently that's been canceled now. So we may actually see a spike in this one. If we do, this might turn into a Morningstar reversal, and that might be able to get us out of the trend line on that one. And XBit. Let's take a look. Okay, X Biotech. Okay, good. Yeah, this has been really range bound right here. We got a breakout candle on Friday. The only problem with this one is there's really not a lot of volume on that one, so just be careful with that. We do have your trend line right here. It is starting to break out right here. Just be careful with it. With a range like this, I want to see some volume on these. This is just like kind of average volume on it, but something to keep an eye on there. Looks interesting. And then GSX. Okay, yeah, so nasty candle on Friday. It did hold the cloud bottom there for a little bit. Big choppy range right here for a while, right? But this is a good breakdown candle right here. So look at this one, see if it gets any further downside on this one if it breaks down below Friday's lows. So good stuff. Good. Rich, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at LK. So LK, they got just destroyed the other day, right? So we've been looking at this thing. We were expecting it to just tank on earnings, so we definitely had a short mindset on this one just because it's like, how could this thing be doing well with all the Corona stuff, right? And their retail coffee shop supposedly in China, right? And so we'll see how that goes from there. Obviously, we have a fresh trend line on this one, so this is going to be pretty rough here, right? So it's basically, there's your macro trend line right there. So my expectation on this one is more range boundness. Now let's see what they say on their earnings. I'm sure, and at this point, it's so cheap. Just be careful with it. I mean, anything could happen on earnings, but maybe it already hit the earnings move with the COO issues, but we'll see. Let's see what happens after earnings on that one. But it might be in the chop zone for a while. So just be careful with that. Boeing also more bad news this weekend. They're shuttering their Seattle plant. For now, for longer. And so we are below the downward trend line on this one. Inside day on Friday, narrow range inside day on this one. Wouldn't be surprised to see some big action on this one on, Monday. So that could be interesting too. If it breaks it probably, more than likely gap down, right? And then you're testing these levels down here, which is pretty crazy. So you do get a double off of this one, which is crazy too. But this thing's been pretty wild as well. So good, great charts. Thanks, Rich. ZEK, what's going on? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Mac. Masarich. This thing's definitely been trending down too. So, hanging out below the ADMA for a while here. You got this kind of stuff going on. I mean, right there. I mean, basically a teeny little doji day there, $5. Just kind of keep an eye on this thing, see if it does any more. May give you a little mini doji sandwich on that one. LK, we just looked at. Again, earnings coming up too. I'm expecting it to stay in the chop zone for a while. Inside day on Friday. And then Chewy, buddy's favorite one right here. So they had pretty decent, I think, earnings, weren't they better than expected? They had big revenue and all that stuff, but just struggling right here after on Friday. So they did leave you with an upper shadow. We confirmed below this level right here with some good volume. So just kind of watch this lower shadow right here, see if they break down below that one. If they do, then we may start to see some movement down below this thin cloud area right here. So good stuff. Yeah, definitely on the radar. Jorge, what's going on? And thanks for tuning in, man. Good evening, everybody. Good. Thank you so much for making it here on a Sunday evening. Robin, what's going on? Thanks for making it. AMD, yeah, absolutely. Let's take a quick peek at this one. So AMD, pretty bearish here. So nasty. I mean, this shooting star candle is just nasty, right? It pushed right below the ADMA, but like anything, nothing moves, necessarily perfectly, right? Came back, kind of retraced 50% of that range, right? Then it started to work its way back down again, broke down below those lows nicely, right? Filled this gap right here, gave you a little lower shadow at this prior support level right here. So just kind of keep an eye on it now. A push below these levels right here may then come and, start to tag these things, get your 200-day moving average here at 38. But, generally, we'll just kind of keep an eye on it here right now. We're in the chop slop zone. Really, it's kind of a big range from all the way back here if you look at it. So, I mean, kind of big stuff here. We just need to close above these levels bullishly to see what we can get out of these clouds. Square, absolutely. SQ. So SQ bearish, right? Kind of a little doji sandwich down here from Friday. We are below, or we're at the downward trend line right now. So this is the level it needs to get above to be bullish. It needs to clear 60, right, with some strength. And then you got, of course, your 200, your 50-day moving averages right here. This is, kind of bearish stuff, right? You go to the weekly chart. Inside week last week was pretty cool, but still below that 30 weekly moving average too. So just kind of things like that. It's generally pretty bearish, so we could look for our setups, for short stuff on those, unless the market just decides to be like super duper strong. And then Boeing. Wow, this thing's getting really tight in here, right? So this looks like a nice triangle in here. Possible little pennant, not sure which way it's going to go. So just look for a break on this one with confirmation. It's hanging out right at the 200-day moving average. So look at these guys right here, right, to see if we close above those bullishly. If we do, then might try to work its way up. But watch here for a breakdown under this triangle, right? We might see this gap filled, things like that. So keep an eye on BABA for sure. Thank you, Robin. And what else? Let's see. Cool. What's going on? Thanks for making it. Yeah, QCOM and AXP. So let's take a look. QCOM. Chop zone, chop slop zone, right? So, basically at this point, we got a couple geometric levels right here that we want to hold. Here's your downtrend line right here. So here's your level to get above, about $70 and 40 cents ish right there. So you can close above that bullishly with some increased volume would be nice. This one moves, it's a good one to trade, but right now it's just kind of blah. So just even get above those levels right here, see if it gets any strength on that one. AXP has been really difficult to trade. The options have just been nasty. I think Visa, MasterCard, Visa, have a little bit better spreads and stuff like that. But this one's getting pretty weak right here. I mean, we looked at it. That was a nasty candle right there. Got some downside follow through on this one. So got potential support down here around 68ish. So just kind of keep an eye on it here. Everything's kind of just death cross right there. Everything's kind of trending down on this one. So keep an eye on it for intraday bullish setup, bearish setups. Could be interesting. Reed, what's going on? Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Any predictions? Yeah, probably predicting a little bit of slop, a little chop slop here. So, gap up maybe, gap and fade. Anything could happen over the evening, right? Just kind of track those futures and, see where we open. The president spoke this evening and, everything he said was pretty bearish, but the market's ripping on it anyway. So, I don't know. We're in opposite world right now. So, again, that's the nature of this chop slop zone. So, good stuff. Merritt, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. URI. Let's take a look. Yuri, United Rentals. Okay, so we are also in the chop zone right here. Here's your level that you want to get above, right? That 105, 106 level right there, bullishly with some increased volume. Otherwise, we, of course, are in the chop zone right here. Be careful with these lower shadows as well, as they're kind of holding those as a little bit of support. So kind of a key area, range area right here on URI. MH, what's going on? KHC, let's take a look. Yeah, nice candle on this one on Friday. It's still kind of, maybe you could consider this like a little bit of a triangle breakout right here. So see if it gets any follow through over this one, right? Your 50-day moving average right there at 26. So that could be working on a little bit of a breakout right here. Nice catch on that one. Tweeter, not so good, right? Just kind of chopping around right here. You got this guy, right? A couple geometric levels right here. So kind of a triangle working on it right here, right? We got above this trend line. We need to confirm above this. Right, and then we got this trend line right here that we need to confirm above too. So, and generally it's kind of bearish. If we look at the inverse of it, we just kind of see what it's up to here to see if that's looking bullish at all, right? So it kind of is, right? If you look at it, right, it's like, oh, hey, this thing's looking like it's coming up on a cup and handle type pattern, possibly. It's got some levels it's got to get above, so just kind of keep an eye here if it could do that. That is if the inverse of this one, so you guys can kind of see what's going on with it. If you guys don't like looking at things bearishly there, so pretty neat stuff there. And then BB. Yep, BB, little doji day, for sure, like straight doji day right there. Here's your lows, here's your trend line. Just couldn't close bullishly above any of these guys, and it left a gap up there on that one. So that, of course, is off of earnings. Upper shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow. This thing, it's just turned into a penny stock. It just makes it tough. So, Jorge, yeah, Tesla. So let's see. It's got, probably multiple channels it's working on right now. Daily chart, right? This is one of the things we've been looking at here on the daily. Like this channel right here. Right, so we could possibly draw a fresh channel on this one, but right now, if we look at it as just the trend line, it is it needs to break above here, that 560 level to kind of get going again. Wouldn't be surprised if it kind of started to drift lower too. They gapped up on numbers and they faded it really quickly on Friday, so just be careful with that one. Intraday channels right here, which could be interesting. Let's see how I was looking here. So just kind of maybe there's something going on here. Let's see. Just kind of keep an eye on this going into Monday, right? All depends on the price action in the morning, of course. So might be working on this type thing. So just be careful with it. But it's kind of in the chop zone as well. Yeah, my pleasure. Yep, Tracy, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look. So shop Shop with the chop, right? Inside day. So couldn't break over. Did a breakout candle right here. Couldn't close above it. Gave you a tweezer top right here. You gotta love that, right? Tweezer top at the cloud. I love that stuff. And the 50-day moving average, and just kind of slowly. It's annoying here, right? 3 days of chop, and then boom, then you win, right? So got back down below the downward trend line right there, and then here you are. So I mean, a couple things right here. Maybe a possible triangle type area here. See if it stays in this little chop zone, and where it goes from there. Pacey. We'll be talking more about triangles this week as well. Pacey, nasty. Wow, yeah, nasty candle on Friday. Definitely on the bearish radar. Let's put that on the bearish radar for tomorrow. I like it. So nice bearish candle there for Friday. So let's give me one more second here. Let me get one more on that. Yep, there. Good. Okay, good. Yeah. Sorry, I could clean those up right there. Okay, good. Yeah, and then Wendy's. Okay, yeah, so Wendy's, again, this is definitely in the chop zone right here. It looks like it's trying to curl over right here. You can kind of see the ADMA is starting to curl down a little bit too. Here's your trend line. So, key level to get above is that doji, that reversal doji right there. So that's kind of a key level to close above to see if this reversal is intact. But right now it's just kind of sliding down that trend line with lower shadows. Makes it really, really tricky to trade. Yeah, my pleasure. Heather, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look. Walmart. WMT, Walmart. Yeah, I mean, nice candles the last couple. This was a great candle here the other day. They gapped down a little bit to shake out weak hands, and they pushed above it on Friday. Let's see if we can get some follow through on this one. I do like Walmart. I do think it should be on the bullish radar. Let's just see if we can get some follow through on there. It's still in kind of a choppy zone, but let's keep an eye on it. And then Apple, of course. Apples and bananas. Let's keep an eye on it. Okay, again, Apple, I mean, if you kind of zoom out, big picture type stuff, we are right at this macro pitchfork level. Okay, so we're just kind of hanging out here. We are definitely in a chop zone on this one. It's just this crazy chop area right here. So see if it continues to hold that, right? Break above it, could give some movement right here. But the reason we're not seeing as big moves as we have been on Apple is because we're in the chop zone, right? With this double inside day, that was kind of the last of the big moves. Then you had a couple days of just, the sideways action right here. So it's not till we start to break out of those levels, right, where, things start to get interesting. So let's see if we get some follow through the downside on this one. So we'll just kind of watch these levels right here. Thursday's low is going to definitely be a key one because a push below there, you got this nice open gap down there that could give some fun shorting opportunities on that one. So good. Ernesto, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Zoom, absolutely. Let's take a look at Zoom right here. So Zoom, has been a great Corona play. These couple days right here, double inside day. Remember we talked about that double inside day up here. Nice, beautiful gap up there. Gift horse trade, and then boom, quick reversal down, fades the gap, gives you a doji sandwich right here, and then boom, downside action. Look where we got to. We got right to that trend line, kind of hung in there a little bit with some big volume, and now we did an inside day on Friday. So definitely pay attention to the inside day high and low here. If it gives you another double inside day, that could be a very interesting one as well. So keep an eye on that one too. Good. Jorge, AOC the Trump clip regarding domestic violence. Mr. the reporter asked him Mexican violence. Looked very disappointed after. I gotcha. That's funny. This is why we need our beauty sleep. Yeah, exactly. Good. Bagash, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, TLT. Let's see how the Mons are doing here. More sideways action. Again, looks like a strong close above this 170.20-ish level right here could could be interesting for the TLT. Otherwise, we're in the chop slop right now. TDOC is just one of those ones that should get going. This is a great one, a great example of a triangle, which we're going to talk about this week here. So double inside day. Look for a break either way on this one. It could be very, very interesting to see which way this one goes. And gold. Yep. Gold, pretty neat here. Right, it's right at the top of the cloud. Let's see if we can close bullishly above here. Again, this one's a tricky one, right? So just watch your geometric levels. Possible triangle type stuff going on here. So just kind of see if it gives you any clues of which way it wants to go. It's a tough one to read on those time frames. MH, yeah, my pleasure. Bagash, yeah, SPY potential to break the recent low. Looking at market conditions, COVID situation, should we go to COVID take further hit if this thing won't fix overnight? Yeah, exactly. I mean, guys, we need to. This market needs recoveries, right? The market needs recoveries, and it needs companies to start producing again, and it needs people to go back to work, and then so they can start going to work, and people can start making money, and they can start buying things, and they can start making profits, right? So otherwise this could be a while, right? I mean we're here, right, in the monthly chart, right? Wow, that's a nasty one here. Let me find a clean one here if I can. So, I mean, just like the spot, we're below the 50 monthly moving average right here. I mean, we're in the bear zone area, right? So, I mean, this thing could work here for a couple months. The downside, I'm not saying it's going to take us down to 100, but, we could be in this kind of blah bear area here until things start getting better again, right? I mean, so that is just kind of the key thing to just be keeping an eye on right there. And again, it's all about recoveries at this point, so, and things just, trying to get better. So that's what we're waiting on. Jorge up 200 points. Last I saw so far, we're near the top of the short channel as we chopped half the week. Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting week. Absolutely. ZEK, yeah, BMA. I like how it's called macro. So Benko macro. So cool. So this one right here, boom, boom, trend line. Here's your breakout pivot right here. So let's see if we can close above that guy, right? We need to get above that. Bullishly increase volume, and then maybe we can work our way up to 50 moving average, maybe the cloud. So definitely a good one to keep an eye on there. Jorge, everyone does think we're testing lows. Yep, exactly, and it's possible. It's possible. So, but if everybody's thinking it, might do the opposite, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind too. So it's tricky. Yeah. Thanks, Jorge. Thanks, Bagash. Appreciate the questions and the ideas and the thoughts. Really appreciate it. And then Tracy Akamai. Let's take a look here. AKAM. Okay, yeah, it's starting to do some stuff right here. Upper shadow here, I mean, here's your key level right here. Here's your original trend line down. Here's your breakout level right here. Huge day that day. And look at that, just kind of, remember what we said earlier, big candles, expect chop after the big candles, right? The market likes to calm down, breathe, figure out what's going on, test some levels, right? Here's your breakout level, came back down, tested that, right? Kind of coming back here. So it might be coming back here to test these levels right here, but to show that it wants above it, it's got to close above it, right? So it's all about closing right there. You do have an open gap right here too. So just keep that in mind too, that if it does do that, it may want to come back and test those recent highs. So good stuff. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Awesome. Great chart request tonight. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in on your Sunday evening. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody gets a good rest tonight, and we have another awesome trading week this week. Keep in mind, guys, the market is closed on Friday, so Good Friday holiday on Friday, so it's a short week this week. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So watch your options too. Early expiration, so watch your theta expiration if you're trading weekly options too. So something to keep an eye on there too. Sherry, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. mRNA. Yeah, I mean, nice candles, right? This is a great candle the other day, honestly, just a little bit of a gap down, then a move up. So if you check out our newsletter this weekend, I point out like a great reversal to catch that on Friday. And then Guild, same exact thing right there, so more good strength on this one. Look at that newsletter this weekend for those intraday reversals. These both popped on it too. Nice candles on Friday, got some good follow through. Thursday, and get some good follow through on Friday. A couple upper shadows right here, so just kind of keep an eye on, but these are definitely some good go-to Corona stocks to look at, so good stuff. Merritt, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Jorge, awesome. Yeah, everybody hit the like button. We always appreciate that. If you're new here, if you tuned in on YouTube, definitely subscribe, because we do this every market night. We take chart requests and go through new cool concepts, and I hope everybody enjoys it. So definitely hit the like button, and also check out the description too. We got some links to our Twitter page and website and all that good stuff. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one. Get some rest, awesome trading, and stay healthy. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.